So, it's been about 2 years since I've posted anything on YouTube. And a lot has happened in that time. A lot of healing and growing. There's been a lot of hurt. There's been a lot of joy. There's been a lot of experiences, that I expected and didn't expect, And it's really hard for me to really start anything. But I'm just going to talk. And just share what's on my mind. And typically, I don't really, lately at least, I don't really like getting into deep thought so much recently because I get lost in it and it kind of sets my tone for the whole day, depending on what it is. But I'm just going to talk because I keep, seeing in the cards and feeling that I got to stop being so quiet. I've got a lot that goes on up here. I've got a lot that I've experienced in life. And I have a lot to share that other people might benefit from. And if it's not in a super structured way, it's just not going to be in a structured way. I keep trying to, I've made a couple videos trying to relaunch YouTube. But, I keep trying to do it in a super structured way that keeps me from actually doing it, because of the way that I work, it's like if something becomes an obstacle, it kind of slows down my momentum a ton. And I just pretty much just give up on it. But I can't be doing that anymore. There are some hard truths in life that we gotta face. I actually found like 20, 25 hard truths or 30 hard truths or something like that, to get yourself back in order, pretty much. And whenever I get home, I will definitely read it. But what I'm thinking about right now is the fact that, my whole life, I've dealt with a lot of rejection in life. I've dealt with a ton of rejection in life. But ever since I was very, very small, I've always been a sweet person. I've always been a friendly person. I've got my bad sides. Don't get me wrong. I've also been very mean. I have negative emotions too. That's part of what makes us human. You gotta take the good with the bad and the bad with the good. That's just part of life. And some of the hard truths that I've had to face is things are not always going to go the way that you want them to or the way that you expect them to, but you can't let it destroy you. You can't let it bring you down. You can't let it hold you back. You can't let it keep you from living your life just because one thing didn't go the way that you had planned for it to. I've really had to learn how to let things go, and I'm still learning how to do that, and it's really hard, and it confuses me because at one point in time in my life, I let things go like nothing. Oh, we're not vibing? Alright, bye, see you later. Oh, you cheated on me? Alright, it's over, we're done, see you later. I would just walk away from things. If it did not suit me, I would walk away from it. And I used to not avoid conflict. I went through a pretty traumatic experience in my youth that really affected the way that I see the whole world. And the way that I perceive other people, and it affected the way that I wanted other people to perceive me. Because, I was just kind of taking news station that was in my high school. I unfortunately barely even got to experience high school. Like, I got pregnant. I'd already been held back twice. So I was supposed to be a junior, but I was a freshman. And I got pregnant. I was 17. I got pregnant. Or I was 16 when I got pregnant. And I had the baby when I was 17. And that was 15 years ago. And things didn't work out with my child's father because we were so young, and he had so much life to experience, apparently, and I did too, but I held it down for my baby. I wasn't perfect, but I did the very best that I could to be perfect, to raise him the way that I should raise him. And I had a lot of pressure on me too. I was like, oh, I'm a teen mom, like, people are already going to be looking at me crazy, you know. And, you know, as the kids got older, I experienced that. When, you know, my kids started kindergarten, I remember these two older ladies in the media center at orientation were just in shock and awe at the fact that I had a child because I looked so young. Because I was so young. My baby was 5. I was like 22. And I also had a 2-year-old. And thankfully, my second child, her father, really stepped up for my first baby, my son, because his dad just dipped. He just left. He abandoned me. He abandoned him. He just disappeared. Did what he wanted and denied my child. Even though he knew good and well that it was his child. And that's pretty messed up. And only in recent years has he decided to, like, reconnect with me, but only on a financial level. And it's not even that big of, like, it's like, it anyway, basically, I have let the whole world run my life for me my whole life. Literally, the whole world. Everything and everyone around me controlled me, what I did and what I said, and how it caused me a lot of anxiety about how I should be thinking. It took me away from me. And then I was in a relationship for over 10 years, which I'm very, very grateful for him. I'm very grateful for our whole experience together. I'm very grateful for him being there and being the father that he needed to be for our kids. But he had some narcissistic issues, and he could be very cruel. And I mean, like I said, I am not perfect. I definitely retaliated a lot within that decade with the way that I felt I was being, you know, mistreated. But it caused me a lot of trauma. Also, the area that I lived in was like a high society area. I was a teen mom. I did not have things really going for me the way that things were going for everybody else. You know, we'd be at, like, parties for our kids, and the other parents are, you know, talking about owning a business, owning a house, you know, all these cool things that they're doing, all these things that they have their kids in. And I did not have the same, like, I didn't have the means to do the same thing. The way that my life was going at that point in time, there was no way that I was ever going to be able to amount to what those people's standards were. me to really be down on myself, have a lot of doubts within myself, made me feel like I am never going to be good enough. I will never amount to anything. Like, I'm always going to be behind in life. But since then, I've grown so much. Since I left that relationship, it's been almost 3 years. It's been 3 years since we split up. And, I really should have taken the time to be on my own. But I was only on my own for a couple of months, and then I got into a relationship that I'm in currently. Things did not go the way that I thought that they were going to go from the beginning, which caused me a lot of issues too in the very beginning, because I was sitting here thinking I'm supposed to be living my life, being single, taking care of my own business, and I was really struggling. Like, I don't even know how I got through that little point in my life, but I did. I made it happen. If I needed help, I asked for help. And I hate asking for help, but I did. And where I could get it, I took it. And it got me through for a little bit, and then I landed this job that I thought was going to be my dream job, It was at a psychiatry clinic. And what I was studying in school, or what I was aspiring to get to in school, was a psychology degree with a philosophy minor. And so I thought, oh, this job is going to be perfect. Well, it would have been if I was mentally in a place to be able to handle it. But there was also a lot of, there's a toxic work environment. And there'd be days where I'd walk in and I literally didn't even know where I was sitting for the day. And I couldn't stand it. I did not have a space that was my own. The tasks that we had to take care of, it was super unorganized. I can't stand when things are unorganized, because it just causes confusion. And it might be because I have ADHD, so I don't know, I can't even remember what y'all call it, neurodivergent, I guess. But that's, one of my things. But it's a hard truth. It doesn't matter if I'm neurodivergent. The world is still going to function the way that it functions. And it's not going to, carve a little pathway for me just to make things more convenient. Shit in life is not always convenient. 99% of the time, it is not convenient. And it's not gonna be convenient. You have to make things work, convenient or inconvenient, and you have to keep a good attitude about it. Otherwise, you're literally just gonna fail. And I don't want to fail. And I'm at a point now where, it's so complicated. It's so complicated. I don't even want to talk about super personal stuff right now, but there's been a lot of inconvenience. There's been a lot of it. And you just have to learn to deal. You have to learn how to balance things, even when it's not easy. The best things in life are probably the most difficult, the most rewarding. You have to work for. You have to work at it. You have to fucking do it. Whether you want to or not, you gotta take those steps that lead to that spot that you're trying to get to. And you have to bear and grin it. Grin and bear it is what I was trying to say. You have to grin and bear it. You just gotta fake it till you make it, even if you're really, really, really in a bad place. You need to take, when you have little personal pockets of time and you're in that kind of a place, you need to take those personal pockets of time and you need to work on it. You need to actually stop avoiding it. Just dive into it. Just feel the feelings that you're supposed to be feeling, because I've learned that when you avoid feeling a certain way, that feeling stays inside of you. You don't release it. You can't get rid of it. You have to release it. Your body has to physically release whatever it is that's like bogging you down, you know? I mean, maybe everything that I'm saying, like, it might be jumbled, it might not make a ton of sense, but I just gotta get it out. Life is not always gonna be easy. Life is hardly ever gonna be easy. And if it is easy, you're avoiding something. Like, if it's that easy, you're avoiding something. You're not doing the work. And if it's that hard, same thing. You're avoiding something. You're not doing the work. Life is about balance and experience and living and all of the things that come with it. You know? Like, you've got to do your part. You can't just be like a potato. You know? Don't be a potato. Be a functioning human being. Everybody's different. So it's like, you know, these cookie cutter things that everybody tells you, especially when it comes to healing, it's like, that doesn't work for everybody. I can't give you any examples at the moment because I'm not at home in front of all of my stuff, but, you know, I'm also traveling at the moment to go to a job. But, you know, I don't know. Just face your bullshit. Deal with it. Call out the elephant in the room. Because if you don't call out the elephant's going to stand on your chest. And it's not going to move until you acknowledge it. Person. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with other people. If shit's not great, it's not great. You don't have to cookie cut anything. You don't have to sugarcoat anything. I mean, if you're in a professional sense, like, you obviously need to keep your head about you. You need to suck it up and just do what you're supposed to do. But you gotta communicate with people, otherwise nobody's going to know what the hell is going on. Nobody can help you if they don't know what's going on. And that's what I tell my kids all the time. Because I can tell when something's wrong. But when they don't tell me, I always tell them, if you don't tell me, I cannot help. If you don't tell somebody, they cannot help. If you need help, say you need help. And then get the help. And then whatever the help helps you with, listen. Even if you don't want to, or you think it's stupid, or it inconveniences you, just listen. Just do it. Just try it. Even if it doesn't like super align with you, try it anyway. If it's gonna bring, if somebody's offering you something that's, offering a leg up, it's going to benefit you in some kind of way, listen. Just do it, man. I'm telling you. Anyway, I'm almost up. You want Brittany IRL? This is Brittany IRL. This is me in real life. And I think a lot. And I've gone through a lot. And I process a lot. I process it slowly so that I know that I fully understand it, what's going on in front of me and next to me and behind me, But yeah. This is only the first of whole series, probably. That, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But when you're in a funny situation, buck up or shut up. Really. Just do what you gotta do. Get the healing that you need. Do the work. It takes work. Shadow work is real. You gotta get through that shit, because if you don't release what's inside of you, it will never leave. Like I said, if you don't call out the elephant in the room, the elephant will stand on your chest. But yeah, this is my morning talk for the day. I hope you guys have a great day. Remember to stay positive and make good choices now. All right, love you, bye.